Today I show you the 10 easiest superstars to trade for in Madden 22 franchise mode. Now I know my Lamar jersey is on backwards, but I only have a few hours left of EA access, so I don't have time to turn it around. So for whatever reason, I decided to use the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the challenge is just to prove these players are so easy to get. We're gonna see if I can get all 10 players in today's video using the same roster, because even though all of these players are pretty easy to trade for relative to what their overall is, after like the third or fourth guy, I would normally run out of stuff to trade away. So we're gonna see if we can still complete every trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars roster. And we're also gonna start off by trading for the lowest overall player in today's video, slowly working our way up to a few 99 overalls that you can trade for in Madden 22. First of all, moving on, Seattle Seahawks. I was actually shocked how easy was to get this guy, and he's the only player in today's video over 90 rated. That's Tyler Lockett. Let's see how easy it is to get him in Madden 22. Let's just try something, a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth from next year. I'm just trying this out, and it's declined. Okay, fair play. So how about a third from next year? And for each player, we're gonna try to get them for as minimum as possible. A third from next year, it's declined. So maybe it'll be a third from this year instead. And submit that through. If we also add in a player here, let's go like Carlos Hyde, added into the deal. And let's try to throw in somebody else that's not, or nothing else too crazy, like a fourth round pick from this year. Submit this through, declined again. Oh no, I guess it is gonna take the third round draft pick from next year, but still, at the end of the day, bro, this is Tyler Lockett that you're literally getting for a third from this year, a third from next year. Submit that through, it's declined. Now we throw in Carlos Hyde, who really isn't going to do much for the Jags, I wouldn't think. Submit this through, now we get your boy Tyler Lockett. We do this video every single year, but this past year was the most they have adjusted the trade logic. So it's a lot harder to get higher overall players. You have to trade a lot more than what you'd have to trade away to acquire those players in years past. So in terms of the last few years, it might not seem as easy to get some of these guys, but in terms of how this actual game plays, they're the easiest players that you can get that are superstar. Next, we're moving on to the Baltimore Ravens, and we're going to get ourselves an absolute menace on that defensive line. It's going to be a 90 overall, and also it's actually 11 players that we're trading for. I just name it 10 for the title. Like, it would be stupid. Top 11 players to trade for now, sticking at 10. So you just get a bonus. Now, Colise Campbell, what's it going to take to get you? So they need a left guard. We have Andrew Norwell, Brandon Linder, don't want to trade you away. On the left side, we have Clavon Chasen. Maybe they want him in a deal. And it's the stupid glitch over and over again, bro. Wasting my EA access time where you can never click a button. How about Joseph? 77 rated, or 10 mil a year for a 90 rated. Submit this through, it is declined, but once again, you can throw in a pretty, like, not so great draft pick. Let's throw away like a second from next year. Maybe we could just use the second from next year for this deal to go through. It's declined, but now you can throw in something simple. This is why I say, like, I might not be able to use the Jaguars. It's not a big deal if we can't get every player on this roster. It's just a challenge, just to give this video a little extra oomph. But more or less, it's just to show you at the end of the day what exactly it takes to get all these players. Now we throw in the middle linebacker. Declined again, but simple enough. That wasn't too far away from being accepted. Now it should be a simple, like, 5th round draft pick. Submit this through, and we get ourselves a 90 rated defensive end. Next, moving on to the Minnesota Vikings, and we're going to try to get ourselves another beast defender, and that's going to be Harrison Smith. Absolute monster at the strong safety position. What's it going to take to bring him in? Now, they do need a right end, and we have a few we can... It's the same stupid glitch again! Now, if we try this again, let's see if they're interested in any of our right ends. We have a 73 and 70 rated. They don't want neither. Of course, they don't. Moving on now to the cornerback position. We do have quite a few that I would be willing to trade away. One of these three guys, Sidney Jones, TJ Henderson, and Trey Herndon. So how about just Trey Herndon straight up? 76 for a 90 rated. Declined, but should be simple from here, dude. Should be able to throw in. See, we don't have a third, which is kind of unfortunate. So how about we just try the second? And the second by itself should be at least close enough. It's going to be accepted right off the get-go for 90 rated Harrison Smith. A lot of these guys that I have in today's video, you pretty much, at least like the first 6, 7 guys, you probably can trade away a second round pick for. And now I need to just go ahead and back out again since it's a glitch every freaking time. Now don't freak out. I did try to save some time on this EA access trial, so I went and signed some free agents to use as fillers and deals. So if you see some players that is signed, just using them as trade bait for the video. Moving on to another defensive player, and that's going to be a Seahawk. Bobby Wagner, 92 rated, arguably still one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL. What does it take to bring in another stud middle linebacker? Now, I signed a bunch of running backs. Maybe they want one of these guys, maybe Duke Johnson, and they do want Todd Gurley. They really want Todd Gurley. Submit this through. It's a little bit less than halfway. Now, let's throw in, at this point, let's try to find another player they might would want. They roll a right outside linebacker, Dwayne Smoot. They do sort of want him. Submit this through. About halfway to going through. Like, this is once again where, like, I just don't have the second and third round draft picks I would like to have for the deal. We'll try a fourth, but it's probably end up taking the first from next year. Probably could get another draft pick with it, too. Let's do that, actually, and let's test this out. So, a first from next year, and we're also going to try and get, like, a second and third. See if that's a possibility. I have no idea at all. And it was accepted. You see what I'm saying, bro? So next year's first for Bobby Wagner, a second and a third. So I actually like that concept. So that should actually help me out moving forward in the video. We can do that more often. Moving on to a Pittsburgh Steelers this time around. Another 92 rated Cameron Hayward. There's actually a lot of defensive ends that we do end up getting in today's video. Don't know why. I guess maybe it's just coded in the game. The defensive ends are less valuable. I don't know. It's definitely the trend that I did pick up on. Now, here, this could actually be a prime opportunity to trade away Minshew for Cameron Hayward. I don't quite know. It's about halfway to go through for freaking Cameron Hayward, dude. Our backup quarterback. Now we can simply probably throw in a fourth. I want to try to get away with trading away that third. Submit this through. Oh, it's so close to being accepted. Let's throw in this third. And also, let's try to throw in, what, like a fourth from next year in the deal. See if we can get this as well. The clients just take it out. Get ourselves Cameron Hayward. So easy to freaking get in Madden 22. So as you see, I picked up where we left off, but I had the Vikings now just to have more things we can trade away. I was tired of being anal with it. We're now going to move on to back-to-back defensive ends. The last one we're going to use in today's video. The last one we're going to trade for in today's video. And funny enough, it's back-to-back defensive ends with the name Cameron. Cameron Jordan, 93 rated. We're about to trade for it. It shouldn't be that crazy. Now, how about, like, I want to try the first round draft pick thing again, like, from next year. This is a late first, to be honest, though. It was declined, but it's going to be so freaking simple from here. Like, Alexander Madison maybe added in the deal will be enough. And, oh, I actually went down. I did notice that, too. A lot of the time this year, when you throw in draft picks and deals, and then you add a player to said deal that's not that great, but they're still interested in them, it boots, like, the interest down. It's really weird. So sometimes you just have to throw in draft picks with the first from next year, and then we can probably go with the third from next year from Cameron Jordan. It's declined again, so a little bit tougher than what I thought, but at the end of the day, it's a 93 rated left end, declined again. So let's just do this then. Let's try our first from this year just straight up. Our first this year for Cameron Jordan, declined, but now it should be simple. Now it should be simple as like the third from next year, and then like maybe a sixth from next year. Now let's welcome Cameron Jordan to the Minnesota Vikings. Moving along now to my Tennessee Titans. My favorite player of all time, Julio Jones, 95 overall wide receiver. Excited for this one now. Defensive tackle. Let's try to trade away a player for Julio. Player swap. Cleveland, they need a left guard, and oh god, about this stupid glitch. Trying this again to the left guard position. I don't quite know if they'll want Cleveland, but we'll try it. Moving on, defensive tackle. We have a ton here. Dalvin Tomlinson. How about we try this? I mean, these two players for Julio straight up. I wouldn't mind it. Okay, that's another thing too. It seems like this year, it's really hard to do swap for swaps on players that are really good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to trade for a good player with straight up swaps. So, like, this video in comparison to the last few years, I've already mentioned, like, it seemed like they're a lot harder to get, but once again, it's still in terms of, like, relative, like this game and its franchise mode. So now, though, we should be able to throw in a little draft pick here for Julio. Maybe a third should be enough to bring in the man. It's declined. How about just a second? Just our highest rated draft pick, 36 overall. Decline, but now we should be able to throw in something pretty simple here, like Alexander Madison maybe, and then another draft pick. We'll try like about a second from this year, second from next year. Julio Jones, so close to being accepted. Once again, we'll just throw in like a 6 that we traded for, submit that through, accepted. Julio Jones, now a member of the Minnesota Vikings. Moving along now to the Bears and Khalil Mack. Why is it only your players you can't add to the trade screen? Like, that makes no sense. Now, I actually decided to switch things up. We're going to use the Falcons now. So I want to try a few things here. We'll try the second for Khalil Mack. They also need a quarterback. I'm not trading Matt Ryan away, although that would be interesting. How about Matt Ryan straight up for Khalil Mack? Interested to see how it was accepted. Wow. Matt Ryan for Khalil Mack straight up. That is hilarious. I think, honestly, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Would the Falcons accept this trade in real life? Like, that's just a weird one. Also, I noticed there's like barely any quarterbacks you can trade for this year. Like, you have to trade away like your #1 overall pick and then like a second, maybe an extra first to get any quality quarterback this year. Stupid. I still just wish they'd add in a 4th asset in the trade so you can trade away 4 pieces, not just 3. It just seemed like it would just make trading and franchise so much more fun. You'd have just so many more options you can do because you have a whole other slot that you can put players or draft picks into to trade away to bring in somebody good, maybe like a Patrick Mahomes. Next, moving on to so far our highest rated player of the video yet, and we're going to trade for Staphon Gilmore. The last player that we're trading for, that is not a 99 overall. 97 Staphon Gilmore, only 30 overall, still in the prime of his career, arguably. Now, what's it going to take to bring you in? We probably could have traded Matt Ryan for him. Let's just try a second for Staphon Gilmore. Let's throw in somebody like Cordero Patterson, who they're not interested, so just kidding. Mike Davis, potentially, they're not interested in him either, so we're going to move along. Next, they do need a middle linebacker. We do have Deion Jones. We have this guy. We also have right outside linebacker Dante Fowler Jr. potentially. How about this? Don't quite know if they'd want the player. Yeah, they don't want him. How about just the first for Staphon Gilmore? I mean, to be fair, though, a first-round draft pick for a player of Staphon Gilmore's quality is nothing crazy. Like, you're not asking for anything at all. Like, this is nothing. Like, I think, like, this is nothing, dude. A first-round... Like, this is nothing. A first-round draft pick for Staphon Gilmore, and it's so close to being accepted. It's not even a high projected first. It's like projected to be a 15th overall pick. If that was like a top 10 pick, that would have been accepted. But easy enough. Probably trade away like a 6 in this deal. I think that should be accepted. Maybe. That was an unexpected interruption. On top of this 6th-round pick, though, like, just to make sure this gets accepted because I'm running out of EA access time. 7th-round draft pick for next year, adding the deal. That one was accepted for Staphon Gilmore, one of the highest-rated cornerbacks in the entire game. So Witten acquired another 1st-round draft pick for this next one, and that's because this is an absolute banger. We're going to the Chiefs. No, unfortunately, not Patrick Mahomes, but who it is Travis Kelce, the highest-rated tight end and arguably the best in the entirety of the NFL. What does it take to bring this man in? It shouldn't take as much as you think. I don't think a second is enough by itself, but it's actually pretty close. Halfway to go. So on top of this second, let's just try with the draft picks. Let's go with a 3rd from this year as well. See if this will be accepted. It's so close. So now, if we just do, let's try 2 seconds first. 1 from this year, 1 from next year. It is so close to being accepted. Don't have to use a 1st-round draft pick for Travis Kelce. Don't want a 5th. See if this is enough. And it was accepted. Doesn't even take a 1st-round draft pick to bring in the highest-rated tight end, one of the few 99 overalls in the entire game. We're about to end today's video with an absolute bang. Moving on to one of the best, no, the best player, arguably, in the entire NFL, the best defensive player in the league. You guys know who I'm talking about. Moving on to sunny Los Angeles, you know who it is, Aaron Donald. Only 30 years of age, still probably has like 3-4 years left in his freaking prime with how good he is. He might play to his 40. Is a 1st-round draft pick enough to bring him in? The projected 7th overall pick that we traded with the Dolphins for off camera, submit this through. It is accepted straight up. All you need is a top 10 pick for Aaron Donald. That is absolutely insane. Let me go ahead and end today's video before my freaking EA Access trial expires. If you got through that without falling asleep, make sure to subscribe and leave a like on the video if you haven't. If you want to watch more, you can click the screen to watch my previous video. The other one is a video YouTube thinks you would like. Make sure to check out all my other channels, link in the description box below. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz, and become a channel member if you haven't. Got a TikTok too. Just click subscribe and follow on all those accounts. Takes you 2 seconds.